there's so much going on. First, I want to say that I'm going to be at Wilder versus Stavern too. So I want to make sure that we get some solid answers, because what I learned is a lot of times when you go to these media events, they don't ask like the real questions. And what I want to know is, like, what's the plan for if Deontay Wilder beats Bermane Stiverne and they can't get Anthony Joshua. But anyway, on TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy Live. We're now 3 days after the fight. Joshua versus Takam. People are saying that Joshua looked, unimpressive, ordinary. It's like, yo, you're gonna get those type of fights, out of fighters sometimes. And yes, if it would have went the distance, it would have even looked bad. Put it this way, I'm not judging it, but what I am judging is the method that his promoter. I can't say it's him. The methods that his promoter is taking as far as to not fight Deontay Wilder. Now, I don't think that they're afraid of Deontay Wilder. I think that Deontay Wilder is too much of a risk for them right now. And also, it's Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Anthony Joshua, saying things on Sky Sports and on the Showtime telecast, all the right things that we want to hear as far as, well, yeah, we'll fight Deontay Wilder. We want his belts and everything. But then behind the scenes, he's saying Deontay Wilder has to fight Dillian Whyte. Well, here is an interesting development, which is why, I'm actually excited about covering this fight, because we get to talk to Dominic Breazeale and Eric Molina. The winner of Dominic Breazeale versus Eric Molina is going to be likely ordered by the WBC to fight Dillian Whyte. And then the winner of that can go on to fight the winner of Wilder versus Taverne. So, as I talked about in previous videos, Dillian Whyte is on his way, or now it seems one fight away from being the mandatory. But yet, if Wilder beats Taverne, they want Dillian Whyte as the voluntary. So for those who don't know how it works, when you're a champion, you are allowed one voluntary. So say, for example, if you win the belt, right? You win the belt, you're allowed to defend the title against somebody in the top 15 of your organization, whether it's the WBC, WBA, IBF, or WBO, unless there's an injury or some type of special exemption. But we're not going to go that deep into it because it's kind of complex. But if Deontay Wilder beats Bermane Stiverne, then he'll be allowed to pick a fight that he wants to fight. Then he'll be ordered to fight the winner of those three names I just mentioned. You see what I'm saying? But in the past, he has been known, or he has not known to, because he's only been he's a one-time champion, he's undefeated. He's taken three voluntaries that that he filed special exemptions for. But it's a complex situation involving a Pavekian drug test, and it's just too much. It's just too much. But the point I'm trying to make is Anthony Joshua has options. Now, you go from fighting in front of 90,000 with Klitschko to 78,000 for what was supposed to be Kubrat Pulev, but then it ended up being Carlos Takam. So you have another big fight out there with him and Joseph Parker that they can take somewhere internationally and still do a stadium. Anthony Joshua was talking about that he wants to stay in the UK, that they're not ready to travel yet. And I can understand that. From a promotional standpoint, from a financial standpoint, you want to keep him fighting in stadiums. You don't want to mess up that momentum and bring him over here for the wrong fight in the wrong venue and it don't sell out. But I think right now it's time to bring him to Vegas, right? And if they were to come over here for anybody, it has to be Deontay Wilder. But the issue is Deontay Wilder has no real bargaining power except for that green belt, which is the most prestigious of the belts, even though the WBA is the oldest. And over here, Deontay Wilder has some marketability issues himself. However, he has gotten better. His mic skills have gotten better, meaning he knows how to talk and sell himself now. And he's knocking people out. And a lot of people have noticed, even though there are some that don't believe, looking at the level of competition, I feel personally, just like I said, others feel that he has gotten better. He has put on more weight, the right way. And I give it a 50-50 fight between him and Anthony Joshua. Hell, he said so himself. The video's right here on the channel. He was like, well, listen, with my style, my awkward style, there's nothing wrong with being awkward. I'm just paraphrasing, but this is along the lines of what he said. He said, my awkward style, I'm 50-50 with anybody. And that power that he has is 50-50 with anybody. Anthony Joshua's still growing himself. It's just that he's got that Klitschko name. And he's got that now 2 stadiums under his belt, which makes him the A-side. And he has 2 belts. So I do feel they'll fight Deontay Wilder, but I see what Eddie Hearn's trying to do because he know that there's no way that that they're going to force Wilder versus Joshua. So he wants his guy to get in there, and also he does have a point. You know, it's not Deontay Wilder's fault that Luis Ortiz didn't fill out the proper paperwork because he needed that fight for credibility reasons. You know, and he needed that fight because it would have been a big money payday because people would have came out. They were talking about that fight. You know, people were really excited about that fight. Oh, he fighting Luis Ortiz, especially hardcore fans. You know, they were descending on New York. You know, people were getting their tickets and everything. They had to lower the ticket prices once it was deferred and everything. But slowly, you know, their fight has started to get, you know, more hype behind it. But let's keep this on Anthony Joshua. The point I'm trying to make is Anthony Joshua can go after, you know, well, they've already been in talks. They've already been in talks with, and in fact, let me show you right now. They've already been in talks with Joseph Parker and his team, and they can go after David Haye if David Haye beats Tony Bellew. Now, those right there are two fights right there that would do more, you know, or be more financially successful than Wilder, and they can do those overseas. You see what I'm saying? So it's from a political standpoint, it's like there's another belt out there. So therefore, it should be. Hold on. I'm looking for it. Hold on. This is important. This was from last month. Here, watch this. This one.
You know, from an anti-Joshua promoter's point of view, we've got the Vladimir Klitschko fight. We've also got a mandatory with Pulev, but we want Parker spring, summer of next year. We want to try and add another belt to the bow.
We talked about if we get past Fury, we're looking to, as potential opponents, Dillian Whyte, Tony Bellew, and even further out, Joshua.
Yeah, I like David Higgins. I think Duco have got a good opportunity in fighting Hughie Fury. It's a fight that if it happens, I think they should win. And then I would stay here, to be honest with you. I would try and knock off all the guys that would make my profile so significant that the anti-Joshua fight becomes a huge UK and worldwide event. And certainly victories over Hughie Fury and Tony Bellew or Dillian Whyte would put Joseph in a brilliant position to earn a lot of money in the anti-Joshua fight. And
I'm gonna just stop it right there. But basically, you can just watch the interview for yourself. Anyway, basically, Anthony Joshua has options. Unfortunately, you know, for people who want to see the unification and who want to see, you know, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder both fight each other, Anthony Joshua has bigger money options than Deontay Wilder, and unfortunately, Deontay Wilder has no real big money options because you can say, well, Deontay Wilder can just fight Joseph Parker. And remember, this is a video of Eddie Hearn meeting with Joseph Parker's team. They've already talked about it, like, well, if Joseph Parker beat Hughie Fury, which he has already, you know, Hughie Fury tried to get the rematch. WBO said no. Now Joseph Parker is looking to go on to that big money fight because the winner of Alexander Povetkin versus Christian Hammer, which is supposed to happen in the next couple of months or so, is going to be the next WBO mandatory. One thing about the WBO, even though they got some bullshit with him, you can guarantee that Povetkin or Hammer is going to get that WBO shot before, we can say September, October, some shit. So, you know what I know about the politics and the rankings and things like that. You know, I peep, I see exactly what's going on. You know, Eddie Hearn's playing hardball because he knows that Deontay Wilder hasn't fought anybody. You know, and also he knows that he's not a big draw, and he knows that his fighter Anthony Joshua has borne big money options, and the fans are not going to turn on Anthony Joshua. You know, now all that about whether Anthony Joshua is really good and can he beat Wilder and all that. Listen, he's still growing as a fighter. Deontay Wilder's still growing as a fighter. I feel that Anthony Joshua is an overall better fighter. I have concerns about the fact that he's getting bigger and bigger each fight. Now, even though with this fight, with the Takam fight, you know, he didn't seem to be gassing out. You know, but it's just there's concern, just like, yo, dude, just keep putting on mass. You know, you just keeps putting on mass, and what we've learned in boxing throughout history, fighters like that don't usually, you know. But hey, and also when people say like that he's juicing and everything, I have no, I can't believe that he's juicing. You know, he's too young. You know, like usually the older fighters juice so they can keep up that extra edge in training and get in shape and shit. You know, I feel like if you're juicing and you're a young fighter, you are like a piece of shit. You know. Anyway, T-Street Controversy. It's T-Street Controversy Live. Like I said, stay tuned this week. We're going to be doing live coverage from Wilder versus Tavern 2. I'm hype about that. I'm a hype because of the storyline. I've said before in the past that it's the storyline behind a lot of these fights, you know, that makes some of the worst fights or fights that people don't want to see worth the watch. You see what I'm saying? So also, I'm looking for help, man. You know, go check out my website. It's finally together. It'll be fully 100% operational within a week. Click the link in the bio or go to www.obviously.fightview360.com. We're looking for help. We're looking for writers. We're looking for artists. We're looking for, listen, we got a plan and it's coming together and it's working. So if you want to go to some fights and you're willing to put the work in and you don't want to be some guy that just has some old regular 9 to 5, we got a vision, we got a plan, and it's coming together. Email us at info@fightview360.com. Of course, you got to leave your name, your location, you know, like, and definitely your work schedule, because these press events happen in the daytime, like a press conference, a media workout, you know, weigh-in, they happen in the daytime, you know. But if it's a fight, you know, that you want to get to, and you're like, okay, all right, I'm willing to put the work in for this and make a little bit of money while I'm doing it, and I'm a respectable individual because I'm going to be around multi-millionaire celebrities and boxers, then email me at info@fightview360.com. And all the information for you to contact us is right down below in the description box as well. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please visit fightview360.com for your rankings, for the boxing schedule, and we got a lot of good things planned. The link is right down below in the description box. Please subscribe.